Okay, perfect. We've opened the room and we got a bunch of people jumping in here. So if you're just joining us, this is Mike Stodola, and this is the MSP Success webinar. And we've got Amelia Paro on with ID Agent. And we're gonna, in a couple minutes, we're gonna get started on how to host a spooky good sales generating cybersecurity event that prospects will sign up for and attend. And this is a really hot topic. We just came back, and Amelia, you were there last week. We had a meeting with our one of our mastermind groups, our producers club, and we went over hosting events, whether it's in person or webinar, and talking about how great they are to turn leads into actual sales, and people just loved it. And then you offered to come on and do one for MSP Success with us. This is such a great way to take all those leads you've got in your database and convert them into clients, or to sell your current clients on new services here. So again, we will get started in just a couple minutes, but while we hang out for a minute just to get everybody on, if you want to go into that Q&A box, that's where you can type in any questions and let us know, do you currently host events, whether it's a webinar or in person? Right there. So can you go into that Q&A box and just say yes or no if you've hosted those kind of events? So, and then we can check those out. Okay, so Nancy's saying no, not yet. Matt's saying he's tried. We've heard that a lot, Matt. Dennis, no, but we would really like to. Conrad, yep, no, but I want to start. So, okay, they're coming in. So great. Brad saying brand new company looking to do so. So this will be a perfect place to get started with these. Okay, Freddie saying yes, and I failed big.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, yes, and this is why I wanted on with us, because a lot of people make some kind of mistakes when they're hosting events. Everyone thinks it's easy to get 20, 30, 50 people at an event. I was just talking with an MSP, and they've got an event in 3 weeks and they want 150 people to attend. I'm like, that is a heck of a lot of people.
Wow.
That's like a conference.
Wow.
And it's like a 2.5-hour event. So Freddie, yeah, lost thousands of dollars. So Anne saying the last one I did with ID Agent, and they were great. So
Yay,
that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
So got that. Okay, a couple others come in. So, okay, perfect. So we've got a bunch of people who've joined. Looks like you're in. So we'll get started in just about a minute, but just to remind you guys, you are absolutely in the right place to discover how to host a spooky good sales generating cybersecurity event that prospects will sign up for and attend. And we got our special guest, Amelia from ID Agent, and she's going to go through this. And this is going to be more of a conversation, and we'll go back and forth. So she's going to share some of their best tips, but really show you how to use their content, because that's one of the big things is people don't know what they should present on. And she's going to make it really easy on you guys by giving you a lot that you can either just kind of use as a framework, or you can follow very closely with that. So you don't have to design whole slide decks from scratch. You don't have to figure out a bunch of stuff. Amelia's made it really easy for everyone on here. So again, if you joined us, we were typing into the chat or the question bar, are you currently hosting events, either in person or webinars? And just say yeah or no on there. And for those of you who weren't in, most people have said they've tried, hasn't worked great for them, which is why they're probably on, or no, but we'd really like to get started. And I'd highly encourage everyone to really look at events hard as a great way to turn those leads into clients, continue that relationship, and get your current clients buying other services. It's a perfect place to have them to, instead of needing to meet with them one-on-one with that. So let's kick it off. So again, this is Mike Stodola with MSP Success. And today we got Amelia from ID Agent, who's going to show you how to host a spooky good sales generating cybersecurity event that prospects will sign up for and attend. So welcome, Amelia.
Thank you very much today. And I'm really especially excited to be here because interestingly enough, I am doing this webinar from Robin Robbins headquarters, because I'm here for another Robin Robbins event. So I might as well just move in.
Hey, we've got space for you.
Right? Seriously. No, this is great. I'm glad everyone's here. As you can tell, I went with the Halloween theme because it's getting close to Halloween. It's October, but it's also Cybersecurity Awareness Month, right? So going to be talking really about how to, put together, how to host a sales generating event. But I also want to share, other ideas, other tips, other tricks that our partners have been using and put into place and had a lot of success with. So like Mike mentioned, this is going to be pretty informal. So, if you have any questions or if you, have a short success story, right, that recently did an event and it went great, those things are great to share. Feel free to share, feel free to ask questions. I'll try to get to as many questions as possible. But feedback and engagement, it makes us a lot less like death by PowerPoint and more, more conversational and more engaging, which is, what I hope and I think everybody prefers rather than the death by PowerPoint. So let's go ahead and get things started off. So what inspired this, and I'll talk about what inspired kind of this theme for this session today. But if there is anybody on the call there who is not familiar, ID Agent, we've got cybersecurity tools built for MSPs, Dark Web ID, Bullfish ID, Graphis is anti-phishing, Bullfish is security awareness training, phishing simulation, Dark Web ID is business email compromise monitoring, right? That 24/7 monitoring. So I'm not really going to be going into much detail into the solutions because that's not why we're here. So if anybody is interested in learning more about the solutions, please hit me up afterwards. Be more than happy to talk to you about that. So, all right. So the inspiration for today's webinar was obviously, I mentioned, it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We also just recently dropped an ebook and a checklist. And as I was looking at these, right, it's fun. It's Halloween themed, right? Monsters of cybersecurity. It's an ebook, and it's pretty fun. But it goes through and it addresses the main threats and the threat landscape out there. The threats against small businesses. So, you've got phishing, you've got compromised credentials, you've got ransomware. Excuse me. The different threats that are happening right now. And I started thinking, and I'm like, man, this is this would be perfect if I was still an MSP, right? I would totally take this and make like an entire presentation to share with customers. And I was like, wait, that would make a really great kind of centerpiece for a lunch and learn or a virtual webinar or any sort of chamber presentation, and something that was fun and different. And that's kind of what I want to drill in and share with you and kind of encourage all of you, right? I think too often we make cybersecurity very serious, and that kind of, we're too serious, which it is a very serious thing. But when we're trying to get engagement with customers and prospects and people, and right, if it's too serious all the time, people are like, oh, cybersecurity awareness training, cybersecurity, right? When if we put our heads together, as MSPs, as our partners with ID Agent, with our team, we can come up with some really cool, really unique things that you can do, and using the content that we've already created that is available to you, right? So I put the links here on the deck, and I can pop them into the chat at the end. We can also send them out to everybody, but you can also find them right on the ID Agent website under our resources. So encourage you to check them out. They're pretty cool. And they would make a really fun presentation, right? And then you've also got like a checklist that you can use. So fun stuff. And while I know that it's getting to be the end of October very soon, boy, the days are flying by. And maybe not a theme that you can use all year round, but we've got other ebooks and resources that that can be used all year round. So that was the inspiration for what I wanted to talk about. So first idea, right? Gamification. Okay, so I'm going to share a couple of ideas to engage current customers and prospects, and then we're going to talk about really kind of the framework of hosting a successful event, right? And these are things that you can do all year round, not just for Cybersecurity Awareness Month, but they also can, lead up to an event that you want to do or at an event, right? So like trivia, you could do, was it Cybersecurity Pub Trivia? Something that's fun and different at an event. You can also do it with current customers, right? You can also do it with your own employees. And by gamification, what I'm, some of the stories that, I heard some of my partners are doing is they're getting really creative with it, right? So they'll make it a game where if, the first employee, or if an employee at one of your customers' locations is really good about identifying phishing emails, not falling for them, right, has reporting them consistently, reach out and reward them with a game, like a gift card or something, right? I've also heard partners are working with their clients and they're doing like department versus department and making it a challenge, right? Like Hunger Games style. So you have your accounting department, right, versus sales and any of the other ones, right? And the first department to complete all their security awareness training, right, gets a free lunch, or the first department to not get 100% not falling for any of the phishing simulations, stuff like that, gets a free lunch. So things like that, right? Games are fun. Games are a way to kind of take the seriousness out of cybersecurity and make employees and users more engaged in it. And these are going to be things that your customers are going to be talking about. They're going to be like, this is awesome. I'm partnered with my MSP, and every month for 30 minutes, we all get together on Zoom and we do cybersecurity trivia. And the winner gets, a gift card or what have you, and it's fun, right? That is something that they are going to go and tell their friend at the next business, and those referrals, are going to start coming in. So, fun idea there. And as you can see, right, like I took some elements out of the Monsters of Cybersecurity ebook, just again, because it's Halloween, right? Wanted to have fun with it. So, I feel, and I'm sure many of you agree, right? Shouldn't every month be Cybersecurity Awareness Month? So it doesn't have to be, like I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be, monsters themed, but starting to working with our team, working with the content that we give you in the Powered Services portal, we've put a program in place and provided you with the content and the assets and the coaching and the training, so that every month you've got stuff that's available to you. You don't have to recreate the wheel, and be educating your customers and continuing with that conversation.
Hey, Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
We got a question here. So people were liking that idea about that trivia, and I just want to clarify. So I think I heard you say two different things, but one of them was you could actually host the Zoom. So as the MSP in the IT services business, you could host it for a company. They invite everybody from their company. Maybe you do it over lunch hour, end of the day, and do a little trivia, and whether it's department and you put them in the groups or it's individuals. So that's cool because you don't even have to necessarily go there. You have some gift cards as that's a cool idea. And then originally you said like the pub trivia. with that. And that reminded me, like I used to, when I had my real estate company, we would actually have like client happy hours like once a month, and we'd go to a place and right after work before they get real busy for dinner. But I'm like, that's a really good idea to kind of have the trivia then, because everybody likes that. They want to go out. We would buy some drinks or pitchers or whatever and some appetizers for groups. And I mean, for 100, $150, you can get that done real easily, but have a dozen, 15 of your clients or your leads that you want to turn into prospects. And it gives them a reason to come out with that and kind of get to know each other and talk with others. So were those the two you were really talking about, or did I miss anything else with that?
No, those are the two I was talking about.
Okay, very cool. No, those are great ideas.
Yeah, right, definitely. And again, it's really about, you know, educating and kind of giving back without just, you know, right away asking for the business, right? It will come organically, especially if you're doing an event. So lots of great ideas that you can start with. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about, and this is a little bit different spin. So COMITs, right? Co-managed IT. One of the things that we have seen work really well is MSPs that are going to larger organizations and partnering with them and being like, hey, I will come in and, you know, be a guest speaker for a day and talk, you know, 30 minutes over lunch, right? Have a little event within their organization for their employees, right? And do an hour lunch, but partner with these larger organizations and offer to come in and do a little mini cybersecurity webinar, right? And you know, at that webinar, talk about the risks. You can use any of the ebooks, run a dark web scan, right? And be there on the spot to you know, talk about the compromises, run through them and what they mean. For example, and if you're already an ID agent partner, I'm sure that you've seen these, but when you do when you run a compromise report and you get the emails that are commonly referred to as false positives, right? And when it's kind of a misnomer, because when it comes to threat actors, there really is no such thing as a false positive. But what I mean by that specifically is emails that the naming convention is wrong, right? Or, you know, Bob has never worked at ABC company ever in the history of the company, right? So it's like a fake email. And what that is, and as our partners know, it's threat actors are creating fake profiles on other sites to use in targeted spear phishing and social engineering attacks against businesses, right? So where you know, just kind of the layperson would be like, oh, that's a fake email, that's wrong, it doesn't matter, right? It does matter, right? But being there to have those conversations opens the door for additional work with those commits. So I've been seeing a lot of opportunity within commits pop up lately. So there's some great stuff that you can do there. Let's see. Yeah, so I see that the checklist link is not working. That may just have been me fat fingering the link into the presentation. So we will make sure that the correct link gets sent out with the follow-up email.
Yeah, we'll get you that. We'll send you the documents and the email. So
yeah.
Don't worry about that. But the other ones, that's working. And it's a really cool book you guys put together. I think it's like 17 pages, fully illustrated. So just a fun little piece that's totally different than what everyone else is sending out. That's like a white paper. It's long and boring and all that good stuff. I mean, it's good information, but they have a little fun with this. So
yeah, and that's, you know, it's good to have fun sometimes, right? And it's good to be different, and it's good to be creative and unique. And it doesn't have to be, you know, pounding it into their heads. I mean, we do, because Lord knows, you know, end users are the weakest link, but, you know, doing something different, really stepping outside kind of your shell and doing something that's unique and fun is really, you know, a great way to get traction. One of the things that it has been kind of, I guess, instrumental to partners who are having a lot of success with events is definitely using the dark web compromise report. And again, if you're an ID agent partner, you've seen these. Hopefully, you're using it with a lot of success. But this is really going to give you that emotional hook at an event, at a lunch and learn, at a presentation, right? Any of these, at a webinar, right? Just being able to have that information about the risk and painting the pictures for your customer. So I'd mentioned, can't, maybe not everybody wants to use, monsters all year round. That's okay. It's okay if you do. I mean, they're fun, but, other resources that we have that can get the job done as well, and you can use to create a deck out of, or run through it and have those conversations, or share it, right? We've got a ton of those resources, And one of the things that we've done is, because we have so many of these resources, we put together our powered services goal assist team. And this is a team of people who came from the MSP space, right? They were former MSP CEOs. They were, on the service delivery side, business development, but came from the MSP space. And their main goal is to help our partners with whatever they need, whether it be coaching or guidance, putting together an event plan. And we have put together several playbooks, one of which is specifically how to host a successful lunch and learn, right? It literally gives you the blueprint, literally gives you the plan step by step. And then we also provide with that, the email invite templates. We provide you the follow-up emails, right? Give you, so, 6 to 8 weeks out, this is what you need to start doing. You need to, first thing you want to do is what's the plan, right? What is your plan for your event? Is it going to be, you want to do a lunch and learn? You want to do an in-person event? Do you want to connect with another local business and do a JV kind of thing, right? Is it with your chamber? Do you want to do it virtually? Decide what you want to do, right? And then based on that, the second step is going to be, well, who's your target audience, right? Are you going to host a open house and invite current customers? Or are you going to, is it going to be purely prospects, right? And making sure that you've got a list, or are you just going to kind of open up the yellow pages, right? And be like, okay, I want to invite all the, hopefully if you are working with the Robin Robbins team, you've got a really good list though. Right, Mike?
Exactly.
If not, then probably need to go back and talk to Mike again. Right, so there's like 9 key steps to hosting a successful webinar, right? Picking out what's the plan. What do you want to do? Virtual, in person. Okay, decided on that. And then the next one is going to be, developing what do you want to talk about? What is it that you want to present, right? And just kind of putting together an outline, right? So I want to talk about the top 5 cybersecurity threats against small businesses or accountants, or I want to talk about phishing, the dangers of phishing attacks specifically, right? So pick your topic, bullet point, just kind of start with a brain dump, bullet point. These are the things that I think are important. And then just start working on developing what your talk track is going to be, right? So you've got your prospect, you've got your list of attendees laid out, you've got what you want to talk about, what kind of events you're going to do. And then you get to be like 4 weeks out, you want to start your recruitment. So again, with email templates that we have, that we make available, right? You want to start promoting your event, promote it on social. Videos are, they're for whatever reason, people would rather watch a closed caption video on silence than read read a long post. I don't know what that's about, but I think it's funny. But you know what I mean? Videos get a lot of engagement. And maybe, use kind of going back to gamifying things, post a trivia question on social, right? And do, hey, today's cybersecurity trivia, first person that gets the answer right will enter you into a drawing, and we'll give you a free ticket to our event at the end of this month, right? I mean, obviously you're not going to charge for it, but maybe you want to. Again, so we've got that's what the team, the Powered Services Pro team, is there for, to kind of help you figure out and strategize, take the playbook, the step-by-step, how to host a successful lunch and learn. Let us help you figure out, what you want to talk about. Bullet point.
Well, Amelia, you just gave a really great point here, because we get asked all the time, like on social media. I know I'm supposed to be posting on Facebook and LinkedIn and do all that, but I don't know what to post. I mean, I just went to your resources page again, and like I kept hitting load more, but there's dozens of resources. Then each one that I look at has, I mean, anywhere from 5 to like one has probably 30 different little tips and things that you can use in there. So I love that idea with the kind of daily social media post and give the right answer. Even just the first couple you went over for October are great. That cybersecurity monster checklist, and we did get that link in there for you. And then, the monsters of cybersecurity. There's so much you could go through, and whether it's a quiz or just taking some of those graphics, do a screenshot of a page or one of the tips on there and share that. That's absolutely the easiest way to go, instead of just every day coming in trying to figure out what you're going to send, what they need to do. So use these resources that they've already made for you. They're professionally designed. They look great. They're a lot better than we can do. I mean, we teach you guys how to use Canva and everything to make your own, but these are all designed for you. So you don't even need to do anything, but just go ahead and use them. And people love infographics. So that's that cybersecurity monster hunters checklist. Very cool infographic that people can just kind of swipe and deploy right away.
Yeah, and kind of to your point there, right here on the screen, we've got 5 thorny remote and hybrid security problems solved, right? So there's 5 topics that you could talk about, maybe, in an hour session on at lunch and learn, right? These are the 5 top concerns, or the 5 things that you as a small business need to be watching out for, need to be worried about, need to be concerned about as we're, going into a hybrid. We're coming out of, the lockdown, going back in, coming back out, where depending on where you are, right? So right there, you've got your presentation. You've got what we are going to talk about mapped out for you.
Yeah, that's
and
perfect.
It's just as easy as and again, we can help you with the deck, right? Lots of different things that you can do. So build buzz and excitement. So here's some really cool stuff that you can do. So reach out to your local media. So local newspaper, local media company, local news company, right? And be like, hey, it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I'm a local MSP. So, if you want somebody who can come on and just do a quick rundown of why cybersecurity is important and why businesses should focus on it, and, why we're celebrating it this month, why we're focused on it this month. And here's 5 tips on how you can bring cybersecurity into your organization year round, right? Media outlets, I can't stress you enough, are always looking for content and people to come and be that subject matter expert. So, if you've got local media agencies, reach out to them. And it's another great way. So ribbon cuttings, as they start to come back. I know when I was in MSP, one of the things that I would do is I I always was watching my local chamber of commerce for the next ribbon cutting, because they have, they'll send a reporter there. Sometimes if it's a big enough organization, there'll be a media outlet, and you can start talking to people and be like, hey, we're doing, welcome to the business community, right? You're a new business. Love to, do a little event with you, for you during your ribbon cutting after this, right? And just kind of be like, hey, we can talk about why cybersecurity is important. And that the dual benefit there is, the getting the attention in the community, right? You're going to be known as invested in the community, right? You're the go-to resource for, cybersecurity, for if you've got questions, if you're not sure, right? These are the things, because you're going to be visible out in the community, right? It's no different than how many of you out there would buy a banner to hang at your local the softball field, right? At your kids' schools, or even if you don't have kids or if they're grown, right? We did it at my MSP. We did it. We had our big banner way at the back of the baseball diamond, and if you squinted enough and the sun wasn't in your eyes, you could see it from the bleachers. Mm-hmm. But and that's a great thing to do too. Get involved with schools, and you're thinking, okay, so kids, I don't support schools. Why would I want to, do a little mini talk in an auditorium of high school kids? Well, here's the thing. Those kids, their parents are business owners, right? And so again, that investment in the community, those kids are going to go home and be like, hey, I saw this coolest thing today at school. This MSP, this IT person came in, talked to us, showed us a bunch of cool stuff and some monsters of cybersecurity. And we did a trivia quiz. I won a Starbucks gift card or whatever. Maybe not high schooler kids because they're a little blasé, but GameStop. I don't know what kids are like these days, but right? So, but the point I'm trying to make there is their parents are business owners, and they're gonna be like, wow, that was, kids are pretty cyber savvy, so they may be teaching you some stuff, but again, it's just different ways to engage in the community, and the word will get out.
Amelia, I'm hoping not stepping on your toes here. Do you mind if I share
Please.
One strategy some of our members are using that it's newer out there, but we've seen just in the last about 2 months this really pick up. So on LinkedIn, under your personal profile, people are used to like posting and saying whatever. You can share a tip, you can put information, but the LinkedIn events has really been a thing, and you just do it the same way, like right under a post, there's a little button for event, and you can create an event on LinkedIn. So we had one MSP that we work with, and they were doing an event. So they handle small law firms in New York. And so they were hosting an event. It was something like 5 things every law firm should know about IT, like cybersecurity, and for their law firm, so they don't get breached, hacked, all of that type of thing. And they put it in there, and then they messaged out to their current people to join the event. And they said they had more people on that webinar. They do monthly webinars, and they've been doing them for a long time, and they're always happy. They get 10 to 12 people, but they had about 30 people on. And the most exciting thing was that they had it was somewhere between, I'm not remembering the exact number, but 10 and 15 leads that came on that they didn't even reach out to, because LinkedIn is starting to push those out. So if they know the events in New York, if it's titled for law firms in New York and cybersecurity, they started pushing it out to their members. And so they got almost half of the people on were brand new to them, and they got appointments, and they got all the leads for those events. So they said they'd never seen anything like that. They had just been messaging their own leads that were already in their database, trying to convert them, inviting their clients, and that was great. But to have half the people on, let LinkedIn do the work for you free, right, was something they weren't used to. So I love this, but yeah, and take this as an online strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the other things that we've seen work amazingly well in LinkedIn is And it's kind of an odd tip, but it does work. So using your phone, you can record a little video message to send in like in LinkedIn, right? It's not the in message, it's just kind of the messenger, the instant messenger in LinkedIn, and sending just kind of a virtual hi, hello, I see you're a new business. I'm in your area, the local MSP, just wanted to share this a recent something interesting. If you ever need anything, you can reach out to me. Crazy, like crazy tips that like amazing engagement, super fun.
No, that's very cool. And I mean, like you said, you could have a little 30-second script, but how nice would it be
30
if
seconds.
they're new to the area and you say, hey, just in case you ever need it, here's my info, and go out. I mean, it's very personalized then. And I mean, if you spent 10 minutes once a week, I mean, you could get that out to 20 people. I mean, and it doesn't sound like a ton, but if you take 10 minutes a week, every month, that's 80 people. And over the course of a year, that's over, like, what's that? Just under 1,000 people you could reach out to that way. Doesn't take a whole lot from that to get some powerful return, new leads, new clients, and get that new business.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and it will be a little uncomfortable at first. If you're new to video, just take it from me. You're gonna think you look funny and sound funny, but you don't, right? We all have weird little tics that we're like, oh my goodness, I'm a weirdo. That's why I hate listening to myself on recorded presentations, because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that people actually put me on stage, right? But it gets easier, and you can, like Mike said, you can just really whip out some great stuff that's at the personal engagement via video.
Perfect.
So, yeah. Oh, all right, John. Yes, I believe this is recorded, right, Mike?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We'll send the recording out to everybody. Yeah. And if you guys have questions or anything or comments, just throw those in there. I know some people on here said they've done them before and haven't had great success. So I mean, and we'll take them more at the end, but you can start putting those in here, and we'd love to help you out. We've gotten a ton of experience with helping people out with events. ID Agent, we had Anne earlier said she ran one with ID Agent and had phenomenal results from that, and it went real well. So yeah, feel free to throw that in here, and we'll definitely get to your questions and can answer those for you.
Yeah, definitely. So just want to share a couple of examples of some really fun stuff. So this was a open house, and he invited current customers, and so they put up a sign that said "hackers only," and in one of their tech in the tech room, they had one of their techs dressed up. I know, stereotypical, a very stereotype, but they had fun with it. So a hoodie and sunglasses.
I love the Cheetos and Mountain Dews and Red Bulls and all that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but they really had fun with it, and they called it a crawfish boil. And as you can see, I mean, Friday afternoon, generating an additional, 120,000 in ARR from current customers. It's not a bad Friday afternoon for spending maybe a couple $100 on some crawfish.
Yeah.
But before you do that, make sure they're in season.
Okay. Sounds like you speak from experience with that.
Sadly, I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, fun, different, unique, right? This is a virtual event. It was what they ended up doing is they sent everybody who registered, they sent them a bottle of wine, right? So it was a virtual wine tasting, virtual happy hour. They had a friend who, and I don't know the official word, but he was a wine aficionado. Mm-hmm. And so he talked a little bit about pairing, and then they came on and they talked about their MSP. And it was a hugely successful event, unique, different, creative, right? They posted about it on LinkedIn. So, kind of tying back those themes of generating buzz and excitement and doing something different and keeping, the theme of Cybersecurity Awareness Month all year round.
Yeah, that's a great one. And Amelia, you probably don't know this story, but we had one member who kind of took this, and they just got like the inexpensive wine from Trader Joe's and got a bunch, and they actually went around to their offices. They went to some clients that didn't have the service, and then they went to a number of their leads and actually dropped off a bottle of the wine, had an invitation attached, and then they did a bag of like a microwave popcorn with that. So they said it was about $5 a client to get on, and they had like 20, 25 people join them with that, and they probably went to about 50 different offices. So I mean, costs say $250, but they said, I mean, they definitely got business out of it. They got a bunch of new leads from that. So you can have some fun with this. I love these ideas.
Yeah, and it's, if you think about what, $5 a lead, that's a pretty
Oh yeah, that's
good
pretty
ROI.
inexpensive. Yeah, and they said they could follow up with everyone. So even the people who weren't on, which is such a thing, and we find that all the time, that the people who don't attend, you just give them a call. Like even if they sign up and don't attend, you say, hey, we missed you on there, but we've reserved 15 minutes for you to kind of run through this with you. And they almost feel like obligated because they feel bad about missing something.
Yeah.
So we actually get a lot of people when we run events that when they don't join the webinar, they're more likely to schedule that appointment. And I love what Matt said. I'm from the country. Perhaps we could have a fish fry with PH.
I love that.
That's awesome. Zachary says these are awesome and super cheap ideas. So yeah, and they're fun. That's the biggest thing is where we see MSPs go wrong is it's really not fun, exciting. Like it doesn't take much to get people on when you're drinking wine and talking about that. But theme it, have some fun, just like Amelia's showing you here with the monsters of cybersecurity here.
Yeah.
So these are all great ideas.
Yeah, cybersecurity pub trivia, right? Do a virtual happy hour and do pub trivia. Super fun, super fun. Yeah. So lots of getting engagement. It's one of the things that we stress to our partners is you guys don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? And even if you're not our partners, you can always, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very easy to find. Please connect with me. I share a lot of like thought leadership and tips and tricks and stuff that you can use and ideas. A lot of the videos that I put out are meant for you to reshare. I'm not saying, I'm from ID Agent. I'm providing a video, just a little, tip and trick that is meant for you to reshare for your customers. I don't say anything about me. Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is that we're continuing education. So, connect with me. Reach out to me. I'm always happy to be a sounding board if you want to bounce a couple of ideas off of, that no problem with that at all. So, and you don't have to be a partner, of course. I would be lying and I said I don't want. I mean, I do want you to be a partner, but we're all in this together. So please reach out to me at any time, right? One of the other things that has been successful for our partners for a long time has been these sponsoring a golf hole, right? And depending on where you live, it might be too cold now, but in Phoenix, Arizona, which is where I live right now, we're winning when it comes to weather right now, and a lot of golf events.
Probably finally cool enough to actually go golfing out there. You guys were in the 120s for a while. So
yes,
that's a little
finally
warm.
Cooled down to the 90s. So for us, that's sweater weather.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And we have a playbook for this too. And it literally has, with these playbooks, we give you not only the step-by-step process, but we'll give you, you can see here the graphics. So you have a tabletop sign, right? Email templates, right? I mean, literally everything that you would need. We don't provide the tent or the tablecloth, pretty much everything else.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, the biggest thing I've heard over the years, Amelia, from our partners that use you guys is they were trying to do events on their own, whether it's webinar or in person or sponsoring a whole or a trade show. And they said they'd wish they had reached out first because you guys just provide, because you got a big company behind you. So you've got graphic designers. You've done this hundreds of times with different partners. And so what's the best place for them to reach out to you? And I'll put that in chat here. So we can
Um,
have that.
Yeah, my email is one of the best ways. Start there.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. But like
Okay,
I said,
perfect.
I'm pretty easy to find. And when I'm not at home, I'm probably at a Robin Robbins event. Yeah. Please reach out to me at any point. And one of the things that we do, in addition to providing support and content, is we will actually be subject matter experts. So when everything went virtual, we were doing 50 plus webinars with partners a week. I think the volume has come down a little bit because in-person things are starting to happen, but you can still have one of our team members be a subject matter expert and at a live event, at a lunch and learn, right? You can virtually pipe in your dark web guest speaker, your subject matter expert, to talk about specific threats or threats to specific industries or whatever cybersecurity related topic you're planning to talk about. Absolutely, right? So it's another free resource that you have available to you as an ID agent partner, right? We don't have your typical MDF, which is why we have put together all of this for you. And look, I've done webinars with partners too. Come on and be a subject matter expert. I've stood next to partners at events and helped them sell ID agents. I don't, my schedule isn't quite permitting lately, but I've done it, and I, when things calm down, I'm always willing, right? So virtual support is there too. So that's pretty much all I had in the email, the resource, the follow-up email that we send out. I will also include the playbook on how, the step-by-step guide on how to host a successful lunch and learn, which documents all the steps. And when I was putting together this webinar, I was like, okay, so I can go through the process step by step by step, but I'm like, I'll just send them the ebook. Let's talk about strategies and ideas and examples and tips and tricks and things that are working on top of the playbook, right? Because the playbook will have everything that you need, right? And I didn't want to have people worried about like scratching down notes. Oh my God, I got to take this down or I'm going to miss it. No, I'll send you the book, right? That way you can have it. You can share it with your team. You can start planning an event. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, email. And of course, if you're not an ID agent partner and would like to learn more about our tools, about our prospecting tool, how it helps you sell not just cybersecurity services, but the rest of your MSP services as well, in addition to all the support we provide, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amelia, I just want to reiterate something you said a minute ago. I mean, we get MSPs all the time who say they're trying to get MDF and they got to fill out all this stuff and then they got to submit a plan and then they got to show how they're going to use the funds. You guys have kind of cut out the middleman here. You know how to do the events. You have the people that can go on, be the subject matter experts. You have all the materials they need. So they don't need to go out, request funds, then find a printer, find a graphic designer, do Facebook ads, get emails created. You guys have done all the work. So like
who
you
has
said,
time for that, right?
Exactly. So this has been a great shortcut for a lot of MSPs that we talk to. Just reach out to Amelia. She'll start asking you some questions, give you some ideas, whether it is something bigger like a golfing event, or do you just start with a webinar, that pub trivia night, whether it's Zoom over a lunch or it's an actual in-person event with that. So if events are such a key way to really build that relationship, and even having your clients on, you can't get enough face time with your clients and their employees. So inviting them onto those, and then they also make great testimonials, and it's great people to have around when you've got a bunch of leads who are kind of wondering, because nothing you say is nearly as powerful as what your clients can tell a prospective buyer on there. So Emil, this is absolutely awesome. A couple questions if you're ready.
Mhm.
here have come in. So John's newer to this, and they've got a partner doing tech support, and he's wondering about just where does he find out more about ID Agent in general? What should he do?
Well, you can go to the website, idagent.com. You can email me. But, the website would probably be a great place to start if you're just kind of looking to figure out, what we are. But, absolutely reach out to me.
Yeah, perfect. And let's see, we'll see if you've run into this. I've got some ideas, if not, because we have companies in a similar situation, but we've got Freddie on, and he's saying, how do I sell this if I'm a telecom broker, not an IT company? And Freddie, I assume you do like VoIP and that type of thing. I know it'll be a little bit of a delay as you type that in. Okay, so yeah, you do VoIP. Have you run into any of that yet, Amelia?
Well, so one of the nice things about the ID Agent platform is there's no like agents to deploy on customers, networks on their system. All you really need is you as a telco, right? Your customers need security, and if you want to have an easy way, an easy tool to offer that to them, absolutely, because all you need is their domain name, right? All you need is their domain name. You can run them through like the scan, the dark web compromise. You can print up a dark web compromise report for them once a month or once a quarter, right? Charge them $400 for it, whatever you want. And if you want to do the ongoing monitoring, again, all you need is a domain name. And if there is any information related to that domain name that is found out on the dark web, anything new that pops up, you'll get an email alert. So even if you don't even have to have a ticketing tool, right? If you are really no MSP services at all, but you know that having a security offering like this would be a huge competitive differentiator for you, can still do it without stepping into the MSP role.
Yeah, absolutely. And Freddie, you're kind of sitting on a big pile of gold here, and you probably don't even know it. We've got a lot of members who were telecom companies, started out in VoIP, and then they've really moved into the cybersecurity, because one of the nice things with that is, like, you can't do the cybersecurity yourself. You've got to work with places like, say, an ID Agent, that they actually do it. So you just go out to your clients, and I'm probably oversimplifying it a little, but not a ton, but you go out to your clients, they already trust you, you give them good service. And most of the telecom companies, they work with dozens or even hundreds of different clients, whereas a traditional person who starts out as IT, they may only have a dozen, 2 dozen clients total, because that's what keeps them busy. So you don't need a very high percentage of your clients. And usually the margins on the cybersecurity side of things are much higher than on the VoIP and the telecom side of things. So we have a number of clients who were in your exact same shoes. They joined this, went out to their current people, put a little cybersecurity stack together, really learned how to sell that and get them serviced by the end companies, and have just made an absolute killing doing that. And it's nice because they've already got the trust, and the companies really appreciate it. They don't want to work with, none of us want to work with 5 different vendors for every different thing. If they're getting great service from one place, and then you can offer them something else and add something else on top of that, that's really the highest way to more profits, because you don't need more clients, you just need more services that you offer to them. So let's see, we had Anne jumped in here. So Anne's the one who had done the webinar before. So she said, for the person asking, I use ID Agent as a marketing tool. I include a dark web report with every proposal that she sends out. So there might have been a question in there about that as well, or that might have been to John also on there. So Anne's definitely someone who has used you guys. I know we have, I'll say dozens, it's probably hundreds, but I know I've talked to dozens of MSPs that have used you guys either for the ideas, or like Bob Mitchie's a great member of ours. I think you guys actually kind of stepped in last minute. I think he had something that he scheduled, and it kind of fell through the previous speaker, and he reached out to you guys, and you guys were able to provide someone to him. It was a little while back. I think it was earlier this year or something with that, but said did a great job. And I think he got a couple clients out of it, if I remember correctly. You might have had numbers on the slide as well. Let's see. Yeah, anything else to add, Amelia? I'm trying to read. There's one other question that came in, but let's see. Yeah, John, you have a ton of clients that need this. They do computer repairs. Yeah, so John, what I'd say is probably reach out to Amelia, see if there's a fit. Sounds like you've got a lot of people that might need this type of services, and you've got people who could offer this. So I would definitely reach out to Amelia. If you got a lot of contacts, you might be onto something big there. Yeah. Anything else, Amelia? And we'll kind of going once and going twice for questions. If you have any other questions or comments in here that you want to throw in, happy to answer those. But I know Amelia, she said she didn't want to take up. A lot of webinars go on way too long, and she wanted to give the information and just show you some ideas. I love the golf outing, the wine one, that little crawfish boil. I like
fish fry. Gonna have a fish fry. Love it. That's awesome.
Was the fish fry. Here in Nashville and south of Nashville, we've had clients who do the barbecue type of thing. So that all can work out really well. So
bagels and breeches, right?
Bagels and breeches. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
So compromises and cocktails, right?
Okay. I was going to say, is there a beer and breeches?
There you go.
So because
right? Bratwurst and breeches.
Okay. Whatever we want. So. Hey, thank you everybody for being on. Again, it's aparo@ideagent.com to reach out, or just ideagent.com to learn more from that. And then look at your email. It'll be tomorrow. We'll give you a recording of the replay. We'll attach the links to the various resources that we have in there. So anything you missed, you'll have delivered right to you. So thanks so much again. And if you're at a Technology Marketing Toolkit event, more than likely, you will see Amelia at that as well. So make sure you stop by the ID Agent booth and say hello to her in person.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Amelia.
Yep. No, thank you. It's wonderful doing these events with all the Robin Robbins community. You guys are like home to me. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Bye now.
Bye.